have built several rigs that we can use in conjunction with CG and matte paintings and some practical effects in order to recreate all the crash stuff. That's going to happen on our green screen stage.
I have nightmares about just being surrounded in green.
What we've got here is a set of towers that hold up the end of a roller coaster rig. We've got 6 cars that are suspended in the air hydraulically between those 2 towers, and it allows us to position it in just about any position that they want for the coasters coming down the hills and through the corkscrews and the loops.
This is the first time the whole cast is on the ride. We're about to do it, the whole cast.
And this is when it's going down.
It's going down.
The
whole cast is going down right now.
It's not true.
Yeah, I think it's gonna make the days seem very long.
If there's a big giant rise, you need to sell a big giant drop, and this is what sells a big giant drop.
Exactly. So what you do is you keep that stationary, you bounce it around like that, kids acting like the world's about to end, and you have the camera race towards them really fast. You can have the harnesses fly up. You can get J.J. Macro and his gang to pull some of the kids up and out. So cars are shaking, the harnesses fly up, and the kids go kind of almost...
Elvis, take one alien marker.
Set.
You know, that there's a lot of emotion that she brought to the role, and she was strong.
I saw it in my head.
You're here, right? You
So the first week, we're just kind of thrown into it, just meeting everybody, and basically I'm doing one of my biggest scenes almost in the script. And that was a hard week. It is a little bit frustrating when you have an idea that you're going to be doing something and you're preparing for one thing, and then all of a sudden it sort of just shifts to something completely different, especially if that different thing is something that you really wanted to take time with and really work on before you went into it. But kind of have to just let it go and just do the best you can and hope that, you know, it turns out the way you want it.
All right, let's do this, babe. What are you?
Here you go.
Yeah, let's do this. Woo!
We have to get off of here.
No, don't push the button! Don't push the button!
Yeah.
Let me out! Let me out!
Win, it's all right. Jesus.
No, it's gonna crash! It's gonna crash! The hydraulics will rupture the tracks will collapse, please!
Action!
Please, no!
Hey, ease up, man. She's all right. Let her settle down, man. Settle down at home. Now look it up. What is your home face?
good about the whole premonition freak out scene. That one I was really worried about because I've never done a scene like that before where you really have to go that far in your emotions. So I was happy that I was able to pull that off to the way that I wanted to. So I'm excited to watch that to see how that turned out because in my head I think it turned out pretty good, but you never know.
Comical dummy look that always kind of looks cheesy. So that lot of trauma look.
All right, stand by for picture. And 3, 2, 1, go! Let's go, Clark. And we've cut.
We're about to put some nails through Aaron's head. Pretty happy with the way the likeness came out. A couple complications with blood. Blood rigs are always exciting that way.
And the nails right now are where?
They're in the skull of the body. They're fiberglass right in there, and then when we hit the switch, the air drives the nail out.
As blood is draining into our sinuses, you go.
Okay, real quiet here. Bill, you hot?
Everybody set? Everybody knows what's happening?
Roll camera.
3, 2, 1, action.
Oh!
Well, let's go look real quick.
Wow!
One of the big challenges was all that hair work. The man hours are insane. It's basically a gun barrel, essentially. We put a little charge in there, this little squid head, and that sends it flying off. It's just gelatin. It's actually edible. A bit of blood, separate it up a bit.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
really
that's
not the
long
best
and short of
spot.
this, stay well back, and you'll be...
Yeah, that's not rain protection.
Visual 79, take 7.
It was a really technical shot where they started really close up on my eye, which is kind of the shot symbolizing that I just had a premonition. You know, they start close up on my eye and then zoom out to my face. And the first take that we did, I had a tear fall out of my eye, and Jim sort of liked that effect. So every take after that, he wanted to have that.
I'm waiting for a tear.
Sorry, it kind of threw me off that you were
Okay. Let's go. So just, John, just wait. Just stay. Don't say anything. Okay. I'm waiting for a tear. When I saw the shot, it was sort of like, oh my God, what a great moment to have it come directly from her eye and the tear rose down her cheek. Of course, once you see that, you really want to get it. And, you know, we didn't really prepare Mary for that.
I'm sorry, I don't think it's going to work.
Okay, let's cut.
It's always part of the business whenever you got to do an emotional scene where you look at it, you know, you read and you go, oh, I'm going to have to cry that day. Like, you know it's going to have to go down. But it's different when you're in a scene and you can get there, you know what I mean? When the writing takes you there or you can build up to memory. But whenever there's a diopter on a camera and it's this far from your eye and everybody's watching you got lights, you know what I mean? It's tough, man. It's really tough.
So I think it was a hard experience for Mary because she can definitely do it at a snap of her finger, but I think because of the nature of how we sprung it on her, it was more difficult than it would be normally, I think.
In tears fall, it's kind of activated by blinking or by scrunching your face up or something. That's kind of what makes them come out of your eye. So for me, I had to keep my eye like wide open like this, so the tears just like staying right there and not falling. So it was so frustrating because I was sitting there going, I can feel it. It's right there. Just fall, just fall. And it wouldn't.
Open your eyes a little wider, Mary. There you go.
So it was a pretty frustrating experience because I felt like I was letting down everybody because I couldn't make a tear come out of my left eye. Guys, I'm sorry. It's just
Okay, cut.
I mean, couldn't Ariel put a tear in there for her for crying out loud? Those guys getting paid all that money for, huh?
Can you just get behind the camera again, please?
I couldn't stand there and just do that. So I have great respect for Mary. She's a hell of a crier. I was very, very proud of her.
Yeah, since home.
It was probably one of the most challenging, you know, scenes I've done in film before, just because it was physically almost impossible at some points, so it was definitely challenging.
All right, good, very good. Thank you, Mary. Nice, like it. Casey?